o'clock, so whenever you guys are ready.
Okay. All right, it being 6 o'clock and having a quorum present, I will call the Town of Freetown Conservation Commission meeting to order. Roll call, Charlie Sullivan, Steve Tripp, and Margaret French are all present. All right, agenda item 1 is a request for an extension of order of conditions for 13 Estelle Ave. Is there anyone there to represent?
I don't see anyone here for 13 Estelle.
Okay, and nobody's on Zoom for it. All right, so last year we had this long discussion on it. We gave them a 1-year extension. They did I did see them down there doing a little bit of work here and there, but there has not been any substantial work done over the last year. It's been, here and there, a little dirt delivered, move a few cement blocks, but nothing substantial.
I have some reservations about giving an extension. I believe the original order was established 5 years ago. Does that sound correct, Victoria?
Yeah, I believe it's 2019.
Okay, and I asked Victoria to check. She wasn't. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but I'm not sure that there's a existing valid building permit. So I'm going to ask that, well, I'll make a motion to table this until our first March meeting, so we can do a little bit more in-depth look at this. In the past, we have given other extensions for other projects, but they have come. What comes to mind is the solar projects. I think we had 2 solar projects we've given extensions to, but that was because
those were not in the control of the owners.
Right. I was just going to say there was mitigating circumstances. It wasn't something that the owners had any control over. So I'm going to make a motion that we table this item until our first meeting in March.
Can I have a second?
I'll make that motion. I'll second that.
All right, roll call vote. Charlie Sullivan.
Aye.
Steve Tripp.
Aye.
And Margaret French says aye. Just as a side note on that, when I get a chance, I can wander down and take pictures and send them to the commission so they can see what's going on.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah. All right, agenda item 2, request for certificate of compliance, 3 Friend Street. Is there anyone representing this?
Yes, James Resendes.
Hi, how are you?
Good. We're requesting a certificate of compliance. We went to the planning board last week. They approved our plans and sent them off to the selectmen to be put on the town meeting. Everything has been complete last fall. The grass is all growing. We had the highway survey truck Macumber up there to look at everything, the drainage and the roadway, and everything was acceptable to him. We got a letter stating that. And now we're looking for the certificate of compliance from the Conservation Commission.
All right. Does anyone on the committee have any questions?
I'm good, Margaret.
Okay. Then I will entertain a motion to issue the certificate of compliance.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor, roll call vote. Charlie Sullivan.
Aye.
Steve Tripp.
Aye.
And Margaret French says aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Resendez. Number 3, continued notice of intent, 30 Island Road. Hi, Catherine. Were
Good
you going-
evening. This is Catherine Ricks, here on behalf of Quaiki for 30 Island Road Extension. And I'm actually, it's with Ty and Bond now and formerly Coastal Engineering. We have finally received the comment letter from Division of Fisheries and Wildlife and agreed to the proposed comments, which mainly meant a sweep for the mussels prior to the construction. And just staying within the limit of work and the proposed vegetation all to be the native vegetation, which we had in our plan. So I don't know if there was any other questions or if you wanted me to go over the project since it has been a little while since we had the hearing.
All right. Does anyone on the commission want to hear any more details, or do you have any questions?
All right, just as long as there's no one from the neighborhood who's on, I don't see anybody. I'm good.
Okay. All right, then I will entertain a motion to issue an order of conditions with the condition that all the conditions in the natural heritage letter from February 9th are adhered to.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right, roll call vote. Charlie Sullivan,
Aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
Margaret French says aye. Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Have a wonderful night.
You too.
All right,
Can we also just for a
Yeah.
formality, just have a
Oh.
motion to close the public hearing as well?
oh, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, Charlie Sullivan,
Aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
Margaret French says aye. We will close the public hearing.
Thank you.
All right. Reissue certificate of compliance for Alan and Tay. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Witten on 61 Cliff Drive.
If I may, I can speak a little bit
Yeah.
to this.
Please
Okay.
do.
Yeah, sure. So, the owners of 61 Cliff, have filed for a new notice of intent. They will be on the next meeting, for that. But there's an older project that just hasn't been closed out yet, that has been completed. So it was previously issued, but they just never recorded it at the registry. So same that we've been doing with some of our other older projects, it just needs to be reissued and have new signatures on it, so it can be recorded at the registry.
Okay. So as you said, it's the same as all those other ones that keep popping
Yeah.
up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any questions?
I'm good, Margaret.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion to issue a complete certificate of compliance.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor, Charlie Sullivan,
Aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
and Margaret French says aye. All right, a notice of intent from 112 South Main Street. Is there anyone here to represent?
How you doing? Jason Youngquist from Outback Engineering.
Oh, hi. Do you want to share anything?
Yep.
I'll make,
Pull it up on the screen there.
Sorry.
Oh.
all right. I'll make a motion though to open the public hearing.
Oh. Do I have a second?
I'll make a second.
All right, all in favor to open the public hearing, Charlie Sullivan,
Aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
and Margaret French says aye.
Sorry, one more thing. Can we just have, if you want to read the public hearing notice, you can do that, or if
Oh.
you want a motion to waive it, waive the reading.
I'll
We
make the
have a
motion,
motion. All right, go ahead, Charlie.
I'll make the motion, we waive the public hearing reading.
I'll second that.
All in favor of waiving to read the public hearing? Charlie Sullivan,
Aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
and Margaret French says aye. All right,
All right, so I'm Jason Youngquist from Outback Engineering, again. And this is a project that had an enforcement order, I do believe, because they had cut some trees down in the buffer zone and in the wetlands, actually.
yes,
Rick Drake from our office went out and flagged the wetlands. It kind of goes to the clearing area. And this notice of intent is to replant the trees and everything that was removed from the wetland area. So Greg, he's a landscape architect as well as our wetland scientist that came up with the planting plan that's shown on the plan to revegetate that area that had been cleared. And then.
do we have a timeline on this, Jason?
I think there was one at one point, but once we got hired, we kept Victoria in the loop on when we were getting everything filed and kept it moving as best we could.
Okay, well, I didn't know about a timeline on starting the work.
As far as I know, he wants to start as soon as the spring, the planting weather shows up.
Okay, great, thank you. Does anyone on the commission have any questions?
Yes, how many trees does he plan on planting, or do you plan on planting? Just,
We have 14 red maples proposed, 21 sweet pepper bush, 36 sensitive ferns, and 15 northern spice bush.
okay, so most of them are bushes, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
we can get our spacing between the trees and everything.
Okay. All right, I'm good there, Margaret.
Okay, is there anything on the riverfront area that's outside of the BVW?
Is there anything on the?
Any of the restoration?
Any of the restoration, no, all our restorations in the BVW, there is some other area that's riverfront area. The riverfront area goes all the way across the road. But we're proposing everything we planted to bring the vegetated wetlands back to a vegetated state. The rest of the area that's been cleared is already starting to have things grown in it. It's not bare ground anymore. It's starting to grow back already.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? All right, I will entertain a motion to what do I want to say?
Are you looking to approve the?
Yes.
Okay,
So,
so I would. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead, Victoria.
I would say you're looking, for a motion to approve the restoration plan as submitted and issue, an order of conditions.
That's it. Can I have that motion?
I'll make that motion with one other condition, that the project be completed no later than June 30th, 2024.
Jason, would that be doable?
I think so, because that would, that would get everything planted right at the beginning of the spring, and we can make sure everything starts to grow for the summer dryness. So I think that will work fine.
Okay,
We'll have to.
that would be perfect. Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor? Charlie Sullivan,
Aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
and Margaret French says aye. All right, thank you, Jason, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Did you
Careful
want,
the storm tomorrow.
yes, you too. Did
I
you
know.
want your office to be recorded, or do you want me to mail?
Why
it
don't we
across?
send it to me, just so I can make sure when he picks it up that I can reiterate the June.
Okay,
30th.
perfect.
So that'll be fine.
Okay,
I know it's a little difficult to get hold of it.
yes. Thank you. And then if we could just have the motion to close the public hearing, please.
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
all in favor of closing the public hearing? Charlie Sullivan,
Aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
and Margaret French says aye. I'm sorry, I'm trying really hard to remember all these words.
No worries.
Discussion on the wetlands bylaw and rules and regulations. You're not quite ready with everything yet, Victoria?
Yes, but I should be prepared for the next meeting to have a draft on that.
Okay, okay. Do you need any help with anything or?
Not on the regulation side, but on the bylaw side, I'm not sure if, I know Charlie, I think you said he wasn't really looking to change anything. But if, like, I just don't have a direction if the commission does want to change that. I would just need sort of feedback first.
Okay, okay. So maybe we can. I will be honest and say I really haven't gone in depth on it, so I can do that before our next meeting. I can do that hopefully soon, and if I do have anything, I'll get back to you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Steve, do you have any comments or questions?
No,
No. Is it just the way the camera is, or are you guys really far apart?
No, we're at opposite ends of the table.
Okay.
I thought we were gonna have company, but evidently you guys all zoomed in instead.
It's just a panoramic view is really kind of funny. Okay, sorry. Discussion and vote on the proposed revisions to the Mass Wetlands Protection Act regulations. But apparently many of us are not really ready for this.
Yeah, so this was more so to take action was, I was going to explain that, a lot of organizations, wanted an extension for the comment period, because the comment period, ends March 1st, but it was actually already approved. So it gave us, 60 more days. I think it's the end of April.
Oh.
So we have more time for this, which is good. So that's all kind of I wanted to touch on. I know it's a lot of information. And I'm reaching out to our peer reviewer as well to see if they have any specific comments and how this is gonna affect Freetown directly.
Okay, so we don't have to write a letter asking for an extension? It's
Correct,
already,
because it was already, yeah, but they granted it they sent the notice after we posted the agenda.
okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, and then minutes from January 22nd, 2024 and January 26th, 2024. Does anyone have any comments, any issues, anythings?
I'm good.
I'm all set.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor, Charlie Sullivan,
Pardon me. Aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
and Margaret French says aye. We will accept both sets of minutes. Is there any other business to come before the commission?
I don't have anything.
Steve,
All set.
Victoria,
No, thank you.
do I get a record for running the meeting in 19 minutes flat?
I don't know. I might have you on some of those.
All right, I'll give it to you, Charlie. All right, I will.
Say I
entertain-
do, but I might.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, Charlie Sullivan,
Aye.
Steve Tripp,
I,
and Margaret French says aye. Meeting is adjourned at 6:19.
All right, have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.